Meet me after slashing your wrist, or at the end if you so insist. I'm persistent when told to cease and desist with this blasphemous shit.
Hello, Shelley. I wanted to answer a couple more comments. I don't know if it was the word immigration or the word racism, but something triggered people. So like on that Dover attack the other day, where the guy threw petrol bomb indiscriminately into a building, into a complex. I'll put up a video, a link there. And basically I said, you racist people or Brexiteers or anti-immigration nuts are doing too much, trying to kill your own people and then kill yourself. Like, what is so scary about immigration that you'd have to do that? Anyway, I got a couple of responses. The first couple of responses were decent, okay? So the response from Terrence Abbott, respect you, bro. I feel you, bro. I'm American. It's part of the course here. Respectful. And then another one from Miss M. Love to you. This is so sad, but not in the mainstream. But hopefully this at least gets people thinking or starting a conversation at least.
I'm not sure what you mean.
She means that people hate people for no reason. Maybe we can talk about why. Okay. So yeah, and they were the first two comments. I thought, cool, all right, so people are at least understanding what I'm trying to say. Then the third and fourth comments and the fifth comments changed quickly. First of all, I had this someone called T Trotter. He tried to butt in, talking about 151 subscribers. Pissed myself laughing. What the fuck is that got to do with anything? But cool, all right. Someone's butt hurt. I have just started. You don't start with 1 million and lose followers. You have to build them. But cool. And what's weird is he doesn't have any content or anything. But cool. And then he commented on a couple other comments. He was really triggered by me calling out racist people. That's the strange thing about racism, yeah? There's not many other things in society that you call it out and people call you it for calling it out. You call someone fat, people don't turn around and say you're fat, unless you are actually fat. Do you know what I mean? But with racism, you say, oh, fuck, that was racist. And then all these triggered people that you don't even know, who've got nothing to do with the conversation, you're not accusing them or anything, will suddenly appear from nowhere, start saying, you're the racist. You're the racist. That wasn't racist. You're racist for saying it's racist. Logic in 2022 isn't a priority, obviously. So anyway, so initially he responded to Miss M, which is weird because I'm looking at it now and it's not there. And it was there. I haven't deleted it. Be brave, guy. Say it with your chest. But don't worry, I have actually got it. No, that's the delightful one he sent to me. Hold on. Okay, so I remember Mrs. M said this is so sad. Genuine comment. And I called out in my video, original video, please watch it, it was a short video. I just said, yo, racist people, you're doing too much. Trying to kill your own people and then kill yourself, you're doing too much. So he seems to be responding to me, but responding to her because she never mentions colour or anything. He says, nothing to do with colour and everything to do with this country going to shit. Putting everyone who lives here in danger. We are paying $7 million a day in a housing crisis. Schools are full. NHS can't cope. Can't cope. No doctors, no dentists, and so on and so on. So on and so on tells me it's about 64, isn't it? Who the fuck says so on and so on? We're the 7th most populated country in the world by landmass. There is no argument. It's our indigenous lands. None of this is racist. It's a fact. Ain't it weird, right? The word indigenous has no power for anybody else. If you say indigenous in an argument about race, people don't give a fuck. And then for some reason, the occasional white person will try and drop the word indigenous because they know it's true. They just don't want to acknowledge it. Indigenous. You're not indigenous to Britain. Please elaborate on how you're indigenous. Please elaborate on who is indigenous. What is the time frame? I'd love to understand this. Can you recognise someone who's indigenous without speaking to them? Do you consider me indigenous? Do you think you're maybe Danish, or do you think maybe you're an Anglo-Saxon or a Roman maybe? What actually is indigenous to Britain, guy? And when does that start? I mean, there's been populations of black people here for hundreds of years, but I get the vibe that you don't consider black people indigenous, or do you? What is your definition of indigenous? I would actually love to know. And is that 7 million from that Suella Braverman? Weird how you pick and choose what you're willing to listen to, innit? Listen, if you want to have a problem about money, if money is your primary concern, then fucking look at the Conservatives, my guy. Forget immigration. Without immigration, this country would collapse. Have you been to hospital? You're talking about the NHS. Have you actually been? Personally, I have the privilege of spending months in hospital a year with one of my children. So I have quite decent anecdotal evidence to suggest that doctors are not fucking white. So without immigration, the NHS would literally collapse. The majority of nurses are not fucking white. But there's a nurse shortage. So where the fuck are they? Why are you blaming immigrants? They're not taking anyone's jobs. There's a doctor and nurse shortage. And you know what's mad? We stay in a fucking university hospital. So that means there's students walking about. And my daughter, one of her conditions is extremely rare. So because it's rare, every time we stay, we always have students coming up to us. They'll come to our room, they'll gather around a bed, and then they'll start asking my daughter a question, trying to figure out what her condition is. Kind of test, you know? When I tell you, there's plenty of white students that come up to the bed. There are plenty of white students. So where the fuck are they going? They graduate and then piss off? Why? Because we don't want to pay them fuck all, guy. The NHS is extremely underfunded. That has nothing to do with immigration. If immigration was not as much as it is, we wouldn't have an NHS. Standard. Let me reiterate. Considering we are in a white country, we see minimal numbers of white doctors and nurses. Yet, we see a considerable amount of white student doctors. Do you not see the correlation? Why are they going to go and work for the NHS when our government wants to fucking rape them? I've physically seen doctors being on site for an entire weekend, Friday to Sunday night. I'm seeing them Sunday evening, their eyes are bloodshot. And they're still trying to smile for the children. Who's going to go out of university and want to walk into that? It's the government taking a piss, my guy. The Conservative government. They come into power. They cut taxes for the rich. They borrow, and then duck out, leaving the UK in a huge deficit, whilst hitting you with the propaganda saying we're the businessmen. No, they are the robbers. So every time Labour Party come into power, and Labour ain't anything special at the moment either, but at least when they come into power, and you can look it up, my guy, when they come into power, the first thing they do is address the deficit left behind by the Conservative Party. And as soon as they've got that under control, the media circle, the propaganda hit you with, Labour don't know how to deal with money. And then Conservatives swan in and then give all their pals discounts again. And you're complaining about immigrants who are literally keeping this country afloat while you suck up to the politicians who are literally bleeding you dry. Anyway, don't worry, we're not finished with Guy yet. I responded to Terence Abbott, the one who said, I feel you, bro. I responded to him. Just to acknowledge that I'd seen his comment. I don't understand how people can have such hate in their hearts for people's existence. Just a generic comment. Mr. T. Trotter butted him. Why? When they don't care about their existence. Is that even logical? English isn't your friend, is it, guy? Even though you have a St. George's Cross next to your name. Well done. How much did that cost you? What about the entire incident makes you think they do not care about their own existence? The fact they risk their life to get to a better land? The fact they head to a land knowing that everybody in that land fucking hates them, but they head there anyway because it's better than where they're coming from? Does that mean they hate their own existence? You don't even want to make sense, do you, guys? Anyway. And then he put, get a grip, victim, laugh out loud. Just to remind you, this is all on a video talking about someone trying to kill, potentially, British people, children, and then killed himself. I won't say what I responded to the get a grip victim because it ties in with the other conversation we was also having. So, eventually, I've seen the 151 taking a piss out of my minimal number of subscribers. Please feel sorry for me. Before I say this, I'm letting you know, I am childish and I'm fucking petty, alright? But I like a conversation. So if I will match your energy each time, 100%. If you come at me normal, I'll talk to you normal. You can disagree with me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with disagreeing with me. That's the whole point of conversations. It's fine disagreeing with me. But don't attack me. If you attack me, I'll attack you back. Standard. That's how my dad raised me. So, anyway. Say, with your 151 subscribers, piss myself laughing. So I said, I'm trying to catch up to your mum's OnlyFans account. 3 more to go. And then the guy decided to mug himself off. He had no reason to say what he said next. This was not going to benefit him in any way. And I don't know if he was trying to make me feel guilty or something. Why? You've attacked me, bro. He says, that would be funny, considering she isn't alive anymore. Why are you telling me that, bro? Why are you trying to connect with me? You weren't trying to connect with me a minute ago. Why are you trying to connect with me now, trying to tell me your sub-story when you don't care about this guy that died or the people you tried to kill? Banter, bro. I thought you was on banter, bro. But anyway, don't feel sorry for him. Because he also dropped me this message. And I'd read it by now. So I had no sympathy. He goes, he then killed himself. And it's not racist. You are. See what I'm saying? Has privilege got to such a stage that on the one hand you can say something is not racist whilst calling the person who called it racist, racist. This is why I smoke. Like, if you're going to have conversations like this, you need to smoke because people are going to say some wild shit to you. Fucking hell. Do you care about the protection of our own people? At least he acknowledged me. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Because so often I'm discounted as part of the community. We don't know these. They're fucking human, guy. They're fucking human. Why is there such disdain for people trying to come for a better life? I don't get that. But, like, the country had zero problem when it was Ukraine. Zero problem. All over social media, man's out there saying, yeah, a couple Ukrainian refugees can come and stay at my house. How does that make sense? Please explain what the difference is. People still need help. People still trying to escape terror. Of course it's not racist. Nothing to do with Ukrainians being white, is it? How dare I for thinking such a thing? They broke into the country and it's costing the taxpayers $7 million a day. Yeah, he's definitely on that Braverman woman, innit? Guy, let's play back the other comment for an answer to that. You are, not your. You are. Do you not like the apostrophe? Does it look foreign? Does it look Islamic to you? Is that why you're not using it? You're an absolute racist piece of poo. You know when you're in an argument, right? And you say something profound, like you think you just won the argument, and you go to storm out, and you go to slam the door, but it's a fire door, closes slowly. Why are you putting a poo emoji, guy? That spoiled everything you said up until that point. Even if I took you serious, I would no longer take you serious after that. I bet you stick up for pedo grooming gangs too. You forgot the apostrophe again. You're vile. Tell me that's not a self-report. Tell me that's not a self-report. Where the fuck did that just come from? Someone check his computer. Please, check his computer. Why is man talking about pedos? Someone threw a petrol bomb in a building and you're talking about pedos. Anyway, hope you're having a good day, fella.
Why you being a dickhead for? Stop being a dickhead.
Also had a couple more dumb ones from this guy. Who's this guy? This one's to the cat video, reaction video, with my face in the profile picture. But of course, common sense isn't very common in 2022. So yeah, still boss. I thought this was a cat video. Instead, some loser lizard covered with tattoos. Is that the end of the sentence? Instead, some loser lizard covered with tattoos. Good job ruining the only body you have, Outcast. Outcasts are sick. Don't knock Outcasts. Andre 3000, top 5 all time. His best bar. The bar that let me know that this guy was about the lyrics. And I don't even know what song it was from, but he said, as I picture a fine ass, walk to the bedroom, I think to myself, that's the shape of things to come. Blood! Bruv, when I heard that, I was, yeah, Andre. Don't fuck about. Yeah, don't knock Outcasts. Good job ruining the only body you have. Bless you. Thank you for considering me pretty enough to ruin. Thank you. I'm sure that was meant to be a diss, but I'll take the compliment. How do you know it's ruined? How do you know? It's a lot of assumptions. And how can it be ruined if I'm a lizard? Oh, do you fancy lizards? Fucking weirdo. Hey, listen, next time you click on a video, try using your eyes. Try reading what's on the screen. If you're no good with reading, just look at pictures, guy. You see my picture? See that there? See that? See that? See that? Yeah. And he calls himself a boss. And I had this dumb fucker, Robert ? I'm glad he called himself ? because he's fucking confused. Put shit into context, moron. He's married to a black lady and is watching said Elvis documentary with her. Do you know how much of a dickhead he sounds? I put up one of them shorts. I just took a clip of one of my videos, and the whole clip, all it said was, I'm white, I'm white, I'm white. I just snipped that little bit from Bill Burr. And I said, shock horror, Bill Burr says he's white. He's fucking ginger, for fuck's sake. There is no confusion there. It's clearly sarcasm. It's just words. A man took personal offence in telling me his whole history and telling me what was happening on that day. Fucking hell, guy. I know. I watched the fucking clip. Jesus Christ, man. No wonder there's so many anti-vaxxers around. People just not very smart anymore. That's why people like Ben Shapiro are so successful. That's why conservatives are always in power, because we're fucking dumb. We are so dumb. How can you... Yeah. Anyway, I love you guys.